They call me the Ghost. It's a name I earned, a whisper in the back alleys of Interpol, a myth among the world's most elite security firms. They say I can walk through walls, that I'm more phantom than man. They're not entirely wrong. To them, I'm a legend, a string of impossible thefts that defy explanation. The Antwerp diamond heist, the Louvre's Mona Lisa switch, the Bank of England's gold reserve gambit, all mine. But to me, every job is just a memory, a close call, another dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. I remember one particularly close shave in Geneva. The job was a set of bearer bonds, tucked away in a private vault that was supposed to be impenetrable. It had everything: seismic sensors, laser grids, pressure plates, and a state-of-the-art biometric lock. For me, it was a playground. I spent 3 weeks studying the schematics I'd acquired from a disgruntled architect. I learned the guards' patrol patterns, their coffee breaks, even the brand of cigarettes the night shift lead smoked. The night of the heist was a ballet of precision and audacity. I slipped past the perimeter fence during a thunderstorm, the lightning flashes masking my movements. I bypassed the seismic sensors by moving at a snail's pace, my heart beating in time with the rhythmic fall of the rain. The laser grid was a joke. A puff of chalk dust and a set of carefully angled pocket mirrors turned it into a harmless light show. The pressure plates? I knew their exact layout, stepping over them like a child playing hopscotch. The biometric lock was the real challenge, but a little social engineering a week prior had given me the head of security's fingerprint, lifted from a champagne flute at a charity gala. I was in. I had the bonds in my bag and was halfway out when it all went sideways. A rookie guard, fresh out of training and eager to impress, decided to do an unscheduled sweep. My meticulously planned exit window vanished. Alarms blared, red lights strobed, and the entire facility went into lockdown. Steel shutters slammed down, trapping me inside. I could hear the heavy thud of boots and the barking of dogs getting closer. For a moment, just a single, icy moment, I thought it was over. My luck had finally run out. But the ghost doesn't get caught. I found my way into the ventilation system, a cramped, dusty maze I had mapped out as a tertiary escape route. I crawled for what felt like miles, the sound of my own breathing deafening in the enclosed space. I could hear them below me, shouting, searching, frustrated. I emerged 3 blocks away, covered in grime and smelling of rust, but free. I melted back into the city's shadows, leaving behind a baffled police force and a legend that grew even larger. They never even got a blurry image of me on camera. That's how I work. That's how I've always worked. But even ghosts get tired of haunting. After 20 years of living in the shadows, of constantly looking over my shoulder, I was ready for it to end. I had amassed a fortune that could last 10 lifetimes, but I had no one to share it with. The thrill was gone, replaced by a gnawing emptiness. I decided to pull one last job, not for the money, but for the challenge. A final masterpiece to cap my career, my magnum opus. The target was the Zurich Legacy Bank, a fortress of old money and secrets. Deep within its bowels lay a private vault, number 777, belonging to a reclusive billionaire industrialist who had died decades ago. The contents were a mystery, rumored to be everything from priceless jewels to documents that could topple governments. The security was legendary, a blend of old-world mechanics and cutting-edge technology that had never been breached. It was the perfect final act. The preparation was intense, more so than any other job. I lived and breathed the bank for 6 months. I became an expert on its history, its architecture, its staff. I learned the precise hum of its generators, the subtle shift in air pressure when the main vault door closed. I even posed as a historian to interview the original architect's grandson, prying details from him over glasses of expensive scotch. This wasn't just about bypassing systems. It was about understanding the very soul of the building. The night of the heist arrived. A cold, clear Swiss night, the stars like scattered diamonds against black velvet. I felt a familiar calm settle over me, the pre-heist serenity that silenced all fear. My entry point was a subaquatic tunnel, a forgotten relic of the bank's original construction that fed into the sewer system. I swam through the frigid water, my rebreather the only sound in the subterranean darkness. Inside, the bank was a silent, sleeping beast. I moved with the practiced grace of a dancer, my custom-made, soft-soled boots making no sound on the polished marble floors. I bypassed the infrared sensors, navigated the sound-dampened corridors, and cracked the preliminary electronic locks with a device of my own invention. The final obstacle was the vault door itself, a 20-ton behemoth of chrome and steel with a dual combination lock that hadn't been opened in 50 years. This was the art of it. Not explosives, not brute force. I used a highly sensitive stethoscope and a surgeon's touch, listening to the faint clicks of the tumblers as I slowly, painstakingly turned the dials. It took 3 hours. 3 hours of absolute concentration, where a single cough or a misplaced touch would mean failure. Click. The first combination was set. Click. The second. There was a deep, resonant thud as the locking bolts retracted. The massive wheel turned with a groan, and the vault door swung open. I stepped inside. The air was stale, untouched for half a century. But there were no stacks of gold, no priceless artifacts, no incriminating documents. The cavernous vault was completely empty, except for one thing. In the very center of the room, sitting on a small, velvet-draped pedestal, was a single, standard-issue safety deposit box. Box 777. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was it, the culmination of my life's work. I used a small, specialized key, a masterwork of lock-picking I had designed specifically for this brand of lock, and opened the box. My breath caught in my throat. It was empty. Almost. Lying at the bottom was not a diamond or a secret file, but a single, old, slightly faded photograph. My hands trembled as I picked it up. It was a picture of a little boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old, with a gap-toothed grin, holding a small, hand-carved wooden bird. The boy was me. I hadn't seen that picture in over 30 years. I hadn't seen that wooden bird since the day my father left. I turned the photograph over. There, in a familiar, elegant cursive that I hadn't seen since I was a child, was a short message. 2 sentences that shattered my world and turned my entire life into a lie. I've always been watching. Dad, a cold dread, colder than the Swiss night, washed over me. This wasn't a heist. It was an invitation. A message. The reclusive billionaire, the impenetrable vault, the rumors. It was all a setup. A breadcrumb trail laid out for me, and only me, to follow. My father, the man who vanished from my life without a trace, the man I thought was dead or had simply abandoned me. He was alive, and he knew. He knew everything. He knew I was the ghost. He might even be the ghost who taught the ghost. Suddenly, a faint, almost imperceptible click echoed from the vault door behind me. My head snapped up. The massive door, the one I had spent hours opening, was slowly, silently, beginning to swing shut. This wasn't part of my plan. This wasn't my exit strategy. My meticulously crafted escape routes were all on the other side of that 20-ton door. I was trapped. The entire heist, my final masterpiece, had been a cage, and I had just willingly walked into it. The legend, the myth, the ghost, was finally caught, but not by the law, by something far more terrifying, a ghost from my own past. Like, share, and subscribe for more gripping crime stories.